CEO of the Breathing Experience, and you are watching the 7-Figure Hustle.
A protection plan that we actually been talking about is financial literacy and how you protect your family, your finances, your credit, and your future. So basically, we get into helping our community understand financial literacy, especially from a credit aspect. So what more would you like to know, Toni?
What's involved with the protection plan? How does it protect you? What are some of the elements in the plan?
The first thing is to educate our community on how powerful credit is. We used to think cash was king, but credit is power, because those 3 digits change everything, whether you're employable, whether you can get a decent insurance rate, just the ability to be able to purchase a home or a car. So credit is basically the trade line of everything today.
It's like know your numbers, right?
Yes, yes. And so since we offer a protection plan, we get further than just giving you a higher credit score. We're going to teach you how to budget. We're going to teach you how to find out what your net worth is. And I like to just show you how to protect your finances by teaching you how to budget, how to find out what your net worth is, and how about giving you a plan to be out of debt. So besides just financial literacy, how about do you know the difference in a will and a trust? We have to teach our family and our friends the difference of why you need more than just a will. You want to have a trust so that you can save your family and your loved ones on that inheritance taxes, because that's a big part of that whole, the word would be estate, because when we leave this earth, we start thinking about what assets did someone leave behind. So instead of leaving debt and problems, let's have that stuff taken care of and put in a trust so that it will be all formatted and leave your family debt free and just able to just transition without having that financial burden.
Awesome nuggets, because I just experienced a family member of mine just passed, and he doesn't have will, he doesn't even have insurance. So I'm experiencing that right now. So it's very important that families have protection.
Absolutely. So that's why we like to protect everything from your finances to your lifestyle, because it's more to financial literacy than just a credit score. So I'm just happy to be here to help out and give this information to our community.
Well, I got started, I want to say, about 7 years ago. I was working for a law firm, and I'd come out of counseling for about 15 years, going into law, thinking I wanted to be this attorney. And I found that the rat race of just business and just coming to work and dealing with personality types and just the up and down flow of people and just the systems, computer systems alone. If you stay looking at the computer for hours, you get locked in before you know it. You've not moved around, you know what I mean? You've been in a blank space. Sometimes they call it the black hollow space. And when you get up, you can't even think straight. That's what was going on with me.
Wow.
So I got laid off in 2012 on high blood pressure medication because it was just insane. I've always had a second business on top of doing a regular job. And I found that when I'd come home from work, I would be sitting on the couch just thinking. And I don't know what I'd be thinking about. Just exhausted. So I started doing some research. Started doing some research, and breathing came up. And I was looking for some holistic remedies because the doctor gave me some medication that gave me side effects immediately. And I'm like, I'm not doing this. They always tell you the #1 killer is stress. And I don't think we really realize that, how much stress takes over our body, takes over our mind. It was affecting my sleep and my attitude. And I'm naturally a happy person. When I got an attitude, it was terribly funky. I didn't even like myself, So I realized that I needed to go back to school. So I got certified in stress management, went back to school for reflexology and kept building, my understanding to say, how can I put this into a formula that allows me to process through the stress while I'm feeling it? Most of us wait to the end of the day and we're exhausted. But when you're feeling it, it's the time to get out of it.
Yes.
Because that's when you can refresh yourself. You know how you push that refresh button on the computer? You should be able to do that for yourself consistently.
And I think that's part of my situation, because I don't like to use the word suffer from anxiety, but I have anxiety, and I go to therapy twice a week, believe it or not, for anxiety, because I want to be a 7-figure income earner.
Absolutely.
But because of the things I'm going through mentally, and I have physical as well, I'm still determined to make it happen. And they're telling me that I should do this and do that. In other words, not push through. And as you said, as far as medicine side effects, I've gotten side effects. And even like now, I'm shaking. This is my show, but I did this show to let people understand, even though we're going through this, go get therapy. Therapy used to be a dirty word. You need to. I go and I talk about, really, I talked about Joe this weekend. And one thing about my therapist, he can't tell y'all what I say. So with that being said, I think it's very important for people to understand you need to talk to some people. You need to have a program where you know how to breathe throughout the day. Take a breathing moment. Because like I said, I hate to use the word suffer, because in my opinion, I'm not suffering from anything. I just have anxiety, and as y'all know, I can get a little crazy. But with that being said, and the things that you had me do, the breathing, it actually helped. And with the support of this whole panel, because I kind of came out to y'all before we came on the show to tell you exactly what I deal with, exactly who I am, and I asked for your help. Right. And I appreciate it because y'all really helped me. So I'm comfortable now. So, so with that being said, I want to encourage other people. Just learn what you're teaching.
Yes. I just want to say that there's a budget plan. Why isn't there a stress management plan?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? We have to have a plan for everything, but we have to take care of ourselves and realize that if we want to live the quality of life that we deserve to have, we got to take that pause, let that stuff go, and refresh ourselves.
Because everything is stressful now.
Yeah.
TV used to shut off at 1 o'clock at night and come back on 6 in the morning. Kids sometimes don't start watching TV until 1 o'clock, and they're up and they're in school tripping. Yeah. And it means a lot to a lot of people to understand what you need to do to be on that 7-figure hustle. It's not just about spending your money or don't spend your money, save more than you spend, because anxiety, bills, pressure is going to come. Being an entrepreneur is an up and down, it's a roller coaster. Right. And if you don't use all the mechanisms that you have and learn them, you're not going to make it. Because a lot of us is not making it because we get to a certain point and then we don't know where else to go. And that was my situation. I would get to a point because it wasn't hard for me to get anything. It was hard for me to keep what I got. Okay. Because here come the stress, here come the fear, here come the anxiety.
Hey, Drew Sadler, this is Ali Hackett. I told you I would get back to you, so here it is. Here is a portion of what happens on my show on a weekly basis. My show is called Salt, Pepper, and Memories, and I am the creator and host of the show. Now, the show is a cross between Soul Train and American Bandstand. But the twist of it is that my guest and myself, we actually cook on the show for the audience. But here's the part that you're going to be interested in.
Hey, Ali, show us your socks.
Drew, I want you to know I pay these people for that, all right? This is the part that you're talking about, where I show my socks every single week. So with this, I'm hoping that you and your staff and whoever you need to talk to will call me, we'll get on board, and we can do something together. I appreciate your time, and I appreciate you. Ciao.
Hello, this is Chef Lillian coming to you directly. Got a question for you. I always wonder when I'm with people, and because we all eat, so I always ask them, when people say, I'm feeling a certain kind of way, I be tired all the time, I'm not getting the proper rest. So my question to them is, what are you eating? And not just what are you eating, but when are you eating it? Or how much are you eating? Because we are what we eat. And I'm sure you've heard that expression before. But let me tell you this. If you eat too much sugar, first thing in the morning, you grab a donut, you get a Coke, You get a bag of chips. And don't forget those, the chewing gum, because you're going to need that to freshen up your breath after you eat all of the junk. And then it's 8 o'clock, you done threw that back, you done digested. Now at 10 o'clock, you trying to figure out, why am I so tired? What's going on with my body? Why can't I focus? Why can't I concentrate? And you're at work. You're in the beginning stages of your workday. And you still got to get until 4 o'clock. And you got all of these meetings and all of these people that's going to be in your face all day. To answer that question that I just previously asked you, what do you eat and how much do you eat? Do you know that breakfast is the most important meal of the day? And I don't mean like bacon and eggs and pancakes. I mean like something simple, like a nutritionist smoothie. You can take things like avocado, spinach, mango, watermelon, strawberries, some of those bright, vibrant fruits, and just blend them up in 5 minutes. Carry them out in your coffee dispenser. No more coffee. You gotta lay off the coffee. And just sip on that all morning. And that will get you through the day. The reason why I say breakfast is the most important meal of the day is because, think about it. If you've been laying down for 8 hours and then you get up and the first thing you put in your mouth is sugar or salt or Coke or chewing gum, your body is going to have a reaction that's going to say, okay, naturally you're going to move and you're going to be able to get around and be mobile. But after a while, your body is going to start breaking down and you're going to have this terrible crash moment. Whereas you thought you had all of this energy and then all of a sudden it's been zapped. No more energy. I'm done. You're almost on the brink of feeling like you're lethargic. You get lightheaded. And the reason being is because of what you're consuming. And I'm not no professor when it comes to, okay, let's do all of the proper nutrition and let's do the D word, the diet. No, we're not doing that. What we're talking about is breaking a fast, because you've been resting for 8 hours. So now you're going to break that fast by putting something in your body that's going to give your body fuel. And it's important, especially as we get older. And I know you millenniums are saying, I ain't got time for this. I know this because you ain't got time for time. So with that being said, these wonderful nutritionist shakes, these plants come from the earth. So these shakes are going to be good for you. And I call them a shake because that's a term that people can kind of relate to. But what they are is food that's going to give you fuel. It's convenient. It doesn't cost a lot. You can get blueberries for $1.99. You can get strawberries for $1.99. So what I'm basically saying is that we have to be very mindful of what we're consuming as food, because food is a filling, and what you put in your body will make you feel certain ways.
So, Safi, what was your first business, and how old were you when you started?
One of the first, well, thank you, Toni J, first of all, for having me on the show. You have some great people as well there, so I'm honored to be here. Thank you. One of the first business I started was a very simple business. It was a water ice stand and also shoveling snow. So
You was hustling.
Had to. So that's one of the first things that I started. Just had a knack for getting out there and getting it.
So you went from a water ice stand to real estate, multi-level marketing. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, if you want to start off, like I said, water ice stand, doing some shoveling as well too. And then I didn't necessarily go right into business. I had got my first job when I was 14 years old. And one of the reasons I had done that was to have money in my pocket as well too on a consistent basis. But I also knew that I wanted to have ownership of things, and the only way you can have ownership of something is by starting your own business and having control of your future. So that led into multi-level marketing, which has been phenomenal and it's been a success for me. So now it's something I would encourage people to at least get involved with initially if they haven't started a business yet.
That plan B.
That plan B, absolutely. Because it's a lot that you can learn from in network marketing or multi-level marketing, but the rewards are also very great as well too.
So often we're afraid to be alone. Why? God does his best work on us when we're alone. I say it all the time when your family's going into surgery.
Yes.
And no matter how much you love that family member, the surgeon says, you can't come in here because we are preparing for surgery. And oftentimes, right before it gets real dramatic in the surgical room, to resuscitate a person, what do they say? What they say? Where's my sister? She a nurse. What they say? Who said clear? Clear. He got to clear some things out the way so I can revive you. I got to clear some things out the way because there's some things that's been attached to you that don't belong to you, that's been weighing you down, and understand that your purpose ain't just for you, but it's for my glory. So I got to get these people away from you. Transformation means you got to forgive people that hurt you. Transformation means you got to forgive some people that hurt you. And you got to be strong enough and a woman enough and an adult enough to go to that person and say, Mom, I forgive you. Okay. Because I know that you did the best you could based on whatever you went through in your own life. I forgive you. Yeah. You learned in a book, but there's so much we've gone through. And I will never quite understand completely, but I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive individuals who hurt me. Because I can't move and elevate and launch, as I said, if I'm still holding on to this person that hurt me. Absolutely. In the book you'll read, too much cargo will cause a derailment. Check your train. When you get on a train, you have to pay a boarding pass. I'm coming. You have to pay a boarding pass. And when you get the boarding pass, you have to pay for it. There's a cost for your journey. Why you allow him to come along? Don't look around. Talking to you. Why you letting them tag along? And you wondering why your train ain't moving there. Teach. And God is the conductor. So when this is where we get messed up because we don't want to be alone. God is the conductor. He says, the reason we're experiencing a delay is because we have someone on this train that does not. Wait a minute! And a lot of times that person on the train that didn't belong is that man we with, woman we with, that person we call friend but really a snake. Right. But here's where we messed up. When the conductor, God speaks, we don't listen. Because we don't want to be alone. But if he gave you a word, there's never a period at the end for him. There's always a comma. So when he tells you to get that person off train, just listen to him and trust him that he's going to take you further. Transformation. In 2011, I lost my job to SEPT. I went through all this. I attempted suicide. Because you know why? My mind was wandering on all the things that I never was able to speak out. So depression set in. And I wanted out of here. But even God said, what are you doing? You can't take you. I got plans for you. I got something for you to do. It's a reason you went through these things. But if you allow the enemy to play in your head, you won't even understand. You won't even learn it. You won't even get the lesson. You won't get the blessing. And oftentimes, you don't tell me to wrap it up. Okay. So, oftentimes, when we look at other people's success, we say, oh, that's so dang. Well, how did he get this? How did she get this? I just told you a little bit about my story. So the next time you look at another, and Instagram and Facebook are had you so messed up. Because you'll be up at 6 in the morning ready to go to work. And you'll see something like, how? Now we work at the same job. How's she vacationing more than me? She ain't. That's from last year. She just didn't. And you got, and now she the guy here. Don't worry about the next person. Because your transformation is on its way when you change your mindset. I don't care. Once upon a time, I couldn't stand my sisters. I never. You can't say you want a new relationship, but you still got Tom, Dick, and Harry inside you. I cut my hair. We were laughing, but I cut it for real. It's a lot of folks that rubbed that head, and it was tainted. A lot of beds this head been in. You know what I'm talking about? See, the difference between me and others is I say what you should say. Speak it. Transformation starts with your mind. Make a decision and stand firm on that thing. Stand firm on it. If it was $1 million behind the wall, everybody in here would take off trying to get it, and you couldn't use no tools, no anything to get through it, just your mind, your hands, your own physical being. I bet you get to that $10 million behind that wall. Get to your purpose, and don't let nothing stop you. Don't let nothing get in your way. Keep it pushing, keep it grinding. It's hard. Don't let nobody tell you entrepreneurship and being successful is easy. They lying. That's the problem with people, even in the church. People be like, you come to Christ and everything gonna be like, you's a lie. That's not true. I went to Christ and I was still going through the storm. But he was my protection as well. I went through, but I had the right cover. It's not easy to get to this place, but it's so worth it. Transform your mind. Transform your lifestyle. Shed some things that you've been holding on to. Get uncomfortable, because if not, you will not grow. You cannot grow if you're comfortable. A baby cannot be. Everything got to stretch. God got to stretch you. God got to pull you so that you can get uncomfortable. So that you can start to really get in that place where I got to figure this thing out. And you really don't have to figure out on your own. If you stand still long enough, the universe, God, will bring it right back to you. This is what you're supposed to do. The right resources will come along. The right connections will come along. And before you know it, somebody is at an event on a May 20th celebrating you. Somebody's in a So many of you are Facebook followers. I hate that word followers. That's just a term, y'all. But a lot of you guys are from Facebook. Some of you I'm just meeting in person for the first time. Do you know how hard it is to get somebody that don't know you at all to come and see you? That's a blessing from God. That's a blessing. And I am a blessed woman. It's still some work he's doing on me. But I'm not blocking it. I want him to do it. Because I know if he's working on me, he's working on perfection. I know we got to wrap it up. We're getting ready to pop this bottle. Where's the bottle? And it broke. You didn't open it?
You're going to be mad.
What did you help?
I was trying to get some help and it popped by itself.
That's fine. I'm not going to be mad. Come on. That's bad. He know me because he know I'm going to grind him up later after the event. But, we don't play no here. But in the car, yo, what really, but I love that.
Recess.
Yes.
I want recess. So tell our audience how travel is important. I like the way she put it as wellness and physical.
Yes. Well, just as you said, everything here ties into taking care of yourself.
Right.
Yes.
But with vacation or recess, you're actually paying yourself. You work, your job throughout the day is stressful. But when you start budgeting, now you're thinking of more paying yourself back. So you can budget to take that vacation. And when you mentioned taking it with your kids,
there is vacations that you can take now where the kids can be included, but you have your time and they have their time.
Awesome.
You know,
Nice.
there's things that you can do where you can still take a family trip and not have to get a babysitter, because that's another fee, but you can include them as well. And it won't be as stressful. So recess is just stressless. It's relax, refuel, and recharge.
Okay, and what I liked about it, you said, I'm going to quote, you enjoy teaching others how travel is an investment in our mental and physical wellness.
Yes.
Elaborate a little bit on that.
Well,
A
again,
little bit
travel
more
is
on that.
stressless. It's stress-free. It's relaxing, recharging you. But also, you just think about when you travel, the different experiences.
Right.
If you, the different cultures that you can learn about. Also, you become more creative when you travel. Because you're recharging your mind, you're recharging yourself. Awesome. So then when you return, what are you doing? You're thinking about what you did, the experiences that you had. Right. So now you might start incorporating that in the things that you do. Like I had, I went somewhere and I had this awesome meal. So maybe I'll take a class to learn how to cook that meal. Yeah. So now you're reinvesting in yourself. So now you're doing different things, so you're recharging your mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we have to change our mindset. The way that we were taught coming up. Like you said, get that perfect job, get those good grades in school, retire, and then travel. But that's not how we should do it. Changing your mindset and also just building on yourself. Start thinking not selfless, but building on yourself is what's going to make things more of a venture for you.
The protection plan, the budgeting, the hustle, the anxiety. The fact that I've learned all of these processes is helping me because I am determined. I'm never going to quit. My hashtag is GMOM on a mission. Y'all ever seen my hashtag? GMOM's on a mission because that's my grandbaby, so this is why I do what I do. Guys, go out there and learn something, teach something to your family, and remember, don't go broke trying to prove you're not broke to people who are broke.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Yeah.